In a time where Hollywood relies on digital effects, today's action movies don't feel real anymore. It's all done on a computer. A green screen here, some motion capture there, and voila, an entire movie built in post-production. It's bigger, it's louder, but it's also kind of lifeless. But then, in 2018, one film dared to bring back the danger. Mission Impossible Fallout didn't fake its action. It threw its star Tom Cruise out of a plane, for real, from 25,000 feet. It didn't animate its chase scenes. It put Tom Cruise behind the wheel of a real helicopter. It didn't stage its rooftop stunts in a studio. It let Cruise break his ankle, for real, but we'll get to that later. While other action movies were built with CGI, Fallout was built on adrenaline, sweat, and sheer insanity. But why take those risks? And did it actually make the movie better? CGI dominates Hollywood for a reason. It's safer, it's cheaper, and easier. It gives directors complete control over their scenes, no need to shut down real streets for a car chase, no unpredictable weather ruining a perfect shot, and best of all, no risking your lead actor's life. But here's the problem. It looks fake. No matter how advanced the technology gets, the human brain knows when something isn't real. The weightless physics, the artificial lighting, the subtle movements that don't quite match reality, it all adds up, and whether we realize it or not, we feel the difference. That's why so many CGI-heavy action movies feel more like video games than actual cinema. And that's where Mission Impossible Fallout changed the game. Instead of constructing a fake world, they built real danger. Instead of using CGI to simulate adrenaline, they put the audience inside the action, where every second feels like life or death. When Ethan Hunt jumps out of a plane at 25,000 feet, that's not a digital stunt double. That's actually Tom Cruise falling at terminal velocity, wearing a custom-built helmet just so the camera could capture his real expressions. When he speeds through the streets of Paris, weaving through traffic at insane speeds with no helmet, that's not a green screen. That's an actual city, real cars, and one actor who refuses to take the easy way out. And speaking of pushing limits, you won't believe what Tom Cruise did next. If you're enjoying the dive into the raw, unfiltered action that makes Mission Impossible stand out, consider subscribing to stay updated on more behind-the-scenes breakdowns and exclusive insights into your favorite films. This is the Halo jump, high altitude, low opening, a military maneuver designed to sneak soldiers into enemy territory without detection, jumping from extreme altitudes and opening the parachute at the last possible moment. And in Mission Impossible Fallout, they didn't fake it, they actually did it. Tom Cruise didn't just perform a skydive, he jumped from 25,000 feet. That's the same altitude as military paratroopers. Up there, the air is so thin that without proper oxygen, you can black out in seconds. And if something goes wrong, if his parachute doesn't open, there's no backup, no second chances. But that wasn't the hardest part. For this scene to work, the audience needed to see Cruise's face. No stunt doubles, no masks. That meant the production team had to design a custom-built helmet, not for safety, but for cinematography. It had to keep him alive at extreme altitudes while allowing the camera to capture every second of the drop. And then there was the lighting. Director Christopher McQuarrie wanted the scene shot at sunset, for that golden, cinematic glow. But at 25,000 feet, sunset doesn't last long. That gave them a 3-minute window each day to get the shot. So how many times did they do it? 100 jumps. That's 100 real, high-altitude jumps, just to capture one perfect take. No green screens, no CGI trickery, just a man, a parachute, and a 25,000-foot drop. And if you think that's crazy, wait till you hear what happened after that. In most modern action movies, car chases are more about CGI-enhanced crashes and digital vehicles than actual driving. Think about films like Fast and Furious or John Wick, where cars flip, crash, and fly through the air, often with little regard for the laws of physics. These scenes may look impressive, but they can feel disconnected, like they're happening in a virtual world rather than the one we're in. But Mission Impossible Fallout took a different route. It stayed grounded. Take the iconic motorcycle chase through the streets of Paris. There were no green screens, no digital doubles, just Tom Cruise on an actual bike, weaving through real Parisian traffic at high speeds. The chase wasn't enhanced by CGI. It was real, visceral, and dangerous. And it wasn't just about the stunt itself. The way the cameras followed Cruise kept audiences inside the action. Instead of relying on shaky cam or frantic digital shots that make it hard to follow, Fallout used smart camera work to make you feel like you're right there, racing through the streets, dodging traffic at breakneck speeds. This wasn't just a car chase, it was an experience. Every turn, every close call felt real because it was. There's something about seeing the chaos unfold with no digital safety net that makes you feel the danger. And speaking of real danger, keep watching to find out the serious injury Tom Cruise sustained from making this movie. Most actors, when they need to fly a helicopter for a movie, sit comfortably in a green screen cockpit while a stunt pilot does the actual flying. The final scene? It's polished up with CGI, making it look like the actor is pulling off high-risk maneuvers. But Tom Cruise isn't like most actors. For Mission Impossible Fallout, he didn't just pretend to fly a helicopter. He actually learned to fly one. And this wasn't just for a quick takeoff and landing. This was for an intense aerial chase, weaving through narrow canyons, barreling through mountain passes, and executing death-defying maneuvers that would make even veteran pilots sweat. To make it work, Cruise had to earn a real helicopter pilot's license. That meant logging over 2,000 hours of flight training, not just for safety, but so he could fly with absolute precision while acting at the same time. And then came the spiral dive. This wasn't a special effect. This wasn't green screen magic. This was Tom Cruise, gripping the controls of a real helicopter, throwing it into a downward spin, plummeting toward the ground with no room for error. Let that sink in for a second. Most movies would fake this scene. Most studios wouldn't risk their lead actor's life for a single sequence, but Cruise insisted on doing it himself. Because when you're watching Mission Impossible, he wants you to feel the danger, and it worked. This helicopter chase became one of the most intense aerial sequences ever put on film. Every tilt, every near miss, it's all real, but he nailed it. No CGI, no stunt double, just pure, practical filmmaking. And if you think that level of dedication is impressive, wait till you hear what he did for the movie. Running across rooftops, that's standard action movie stuff, but in Mission Impossible Fallout, it wasn't just about the sprint, it was about the jump. The sequence takes place in London as Ethan Hunt chases down his target across the city skyline. The stunt required Cruise to leap from one rooftop to another. No wires, no CGI safety nets, just pure stunt work. Sounds simple, right? Except he didn't make it. On one of the takes, he miscalculated and slammed his foot straight into the side of the building instead of clearing the gap. Hard. So hard that he shattered his ankle on impact. You can actually see the moment his foot bends the wrong way. It's brutal. And instead of stopping, instead of calling cut, he pulled himself up and kept running. That shot? The one where he limps away? That's not acting. That's real pain. Director Christopher McQuarrie later revealed that Cruise knew instantly that his ankle was broken, but he also knew they needed the shot. So he kept going, forcing himself to finish the take before collapsing. Production had to shut down for months while Cruise healed. Any other movie might have scrapped the scene entirely, but not this one. When filming resumed, he was back at it, sprinting, jumping, finishing what he started. In a time when CGI dominates the action film world, Mission Impossible Fallout proves something crucial. Practical effects still matter. When a superhero leaps off a building, you can tell it's fake. When a CGI car flips away through the air, you can almost feel the disconnect. It's impressive, sure, but it's not real. Now, compare that to Fallout. Every stunt feels real. When Tom Cruise jumps out of a plane, you know it's him. When he's weaving through traffic on a motorcycle in Paris, that's no digital double. It's the real deal. You can feel the danger, the speed, the risk. And that's what makes Fallout's action sequences stand out. They're raw, they're immersive, and they put you in the moment like few other films can. There's no green screen magic or CGI to mask the action, it's just pure physical filmmaking. That authenticity gives the movie a sense of urgency and excitement that CGI-heavy blockbusters often lack. Maybe that's the secret. Mission Impossible isn't just about explosive stunts. It's about making the audience feel that those stunts could happen at any moment. And that's why, even in a CGI world, Mission Impossible remains one of the greatest action franchises of all time. Hollywood isn't about to stop using CGI. It's cheaper, safer, and makes everything easier. But every once in a while, a movie comes along that shows us why practical effects still matter. Mission Impossible Fallout is one of those movies. Tom Cruise's dedication to real stunts sets him apart. He didn't just pretend to jump out of a plane, he actually did it. He didn't just act like he was flying a helicopter, he learned how. And when he shattered his ankle during a rooftop jump, he kept going, delivering a performance no CGI could replicate. That's what makes Mission Impossible different. It's about putting the audience in the moment, feeling the real danger. Tom Cruise isn't done yet. If he's willing to risk his life for a film, who knows what he'll do next. One thing's for sure, it'll be wild. If you want more breakdowns and in-depth looks at action filmmaking, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Who knows what insane stunts Tom Cruise will pull off next, and we'll be here to explore it all with you.